Good morning. Welcome back to Zeitgeist, second sum common. Today we are dealing with the first module's essay, Should the Assassin of Gandhi Be Killed? By Pearl S. Buck. To talk about the author, Pearl S. Buck was an American writer and novelist. As the daughter of missionaries, she spent most of her life before 1934 in China. Her novel, The Good Earth, was the best selling fiction in 1931 and 1932. In 1938, she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for her truly epic description of peasant life in China and for her biographical masterpieces. On 13 January 1948, India witnessed the tragic assassination of Mahatma Gandhi at the Birla House in New Delhi. Nathuram Vinayak Godse was his assassin. Gandhi's greatest weapon was non-violence. His life and teachings touched people outside India and inspired movements for civil rights and freedom across the world. He was inspired people around the world, and Pearl S. Buck, the American writer and novelist, was one among them. In her words, Mahatma Gandhi came and stood at the door of India's destitute millions, clad as one of themselves. Let's talk about the important points in this essay. How Pearl S. Buck portrays Gandhi. On the death of Gandhi, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru mourned, "The light has gone out for our lives and there is darkness everywhere." He was a man of great visionary to bring India forward. Gandhi was only one. His voice was single, gentle, and full of wisdom. It was the voice of conscience in our troubled lives. Gandhi was truth. He knew he was right, and the world knew he was right. Even his murderer knew he was right. Truth is so simple to follow. The followers of violence distort truth, and simple truth are feared. The world no more needs violence, hatred, or quarrels, but peace and peacemakers. And he advocates non-violence through ahimsa and satyagraha. These were his ultimate truth, to which Gandhi was inclined, and his principles and teachings made sense to the common people. His was the voice of many Indians. His life exemplified whatever he taught his followers. In that, he contains his greatness. The lovers of violence often do not realize that great words and great teachings are etched into society in positive ways. Gandhiji has done his part, though the indomitable figure is out of our lives. It is the people of India who must take up his qualities and follow it in their lives and move India forward. As Albert Einstein famously said, generations to come, it may be will scarce believe that such a one as this ever in flesh and blood walked upon this earth. This was his position. He did not wish punishment even for his enemies. Gandhi was often in prison and he might not wish his murderer confined to a prison. His life was ideal, a perfect example for everyone to look on. He was the great leader of moral and right. Here, Palaspak is talking about Gandhi's death. Gandhi is dead. His ashes are scattered in the waters and over the earth in India. And his undefeatable frame, the fearless spirit, the long years, and the high purpose were all ended with a gunshot. No wonder. Ignorant, the stupid, the inventors of atom bombs, the generals, the captains, the surgeons, and the soldiers are all lovers of violence. They fear and hate all who rebel against them. Just one shot, and what is left is ashes. Today, millions can be killed as easily as one. The world confuses violence with power. Gandhi's words are simple, but they are true. People are afraid of simple truth, but truth does not change. It is more fundamental than atom bomb. See, in the fourth paragraph and fifth, Palaspak is talking about Godse. Think of Godse sitting in the prison after committing the murder of Gandhi. He may be heavily guarded as he killed Gandhi. Should he die or live? That is the question. If we are to take Gandhi seriously, that man should not die by violence, even as a punishment for his crime, because Gandhiji always advocated non-violence. So how the followers of Gandhi can kill Godse? Suppose Godse is freed. If we are letting Godse free from the jail, what will happen to his life? Could he escape what he has done? No, he can't be escaped from what he has done. He will be always the murder of Gandhi. He will be known in that title. His own people would not receive him. He would be watched for and dreaded. None would want to touch his hand. Women would fear him and children would be taught to despise him. So, where will he find home and friends? He will be isolated, he will be alone from all the people. He would be an outcast. He would be haunted by Gandhi's spirit. And Palaspak says that this killer of Gandhi has no consciousness or he would not do it. The utter goodness of Gandhi's spirit drives men to destroy themselves from despair, and it will help them to born again. And the world wants goodness. There is no weapon, no bomb which is as powerful as the force of a great good spirit. India will become great with the force of non-violence. Gandhi did not told others to do or others to perform violence. When people saw this, they believed him. Gandhi has done his part. Now it is for the people of India to take leadership for non-violence in the world. And Palaspak ends this essay by saying that the world is sick of violence. We are poisoning by hatred and quarrels. People now turn away from militaries and warmongers. We want peacemakers. No war brings peace, violence brings only more violence. Indians should dare to be worthy of their Gandhi. Indians should follow the non-violence of Gandhi. Okay, friends, that is the highlighted points of this essay. Should the assassin of Gandhi be killed? Okay, thank you.